Thank you all so much. It is such an honor to be here and to see so many familiar faces, so many new faces, to be surrounded by these amazing musicians. It's really, truly a dream. I'm going to try not to cry in this concert, but we've been working on this concert for a long time, and the album from which the music comes from for even longer. So to finally hear it all coming together, it's really been such an amazing experience. That first tune that we played for you is called Atraente. It means attractive in Portuguese. It's by the composer Chiquinha Gonzaga, and it was arranged by an amazing composer who lives in São Paulo, Jaime Vignoli. The next tune that I'm going to sing for you is one called Só o Tempo. It's by Paulinho da Viola. I don't know if everyone has, we had a little, which program is it? I think before the concert. So I don't know if you all have the composers' names in the program or not, but I'm going to talk anyway, so you don't even have to look the program. I'm going to talk too much. They're all going to get annoyed with me, but I can't help it. I can't help myself. So this tune is really beautiful. It's a beautiful ballad, and I think it really captures the spirit of like a true like Brazilian bossa nova, like the sound that you think of when you think of a bossa nova. It's so rich and lovely and kind of puts you in a place that you can kind of imagine yourself in Brazil in a cafe just chilling out. So I hope you enjoy this tune, Só o Tempo.
Nas horas que me atrevo e abro mão de desejos, botando meus pés no chão, eu sou estar feliz, acende-me ilusão, quando percebe meu rosto, as dores que não me fez. Ah, meu pobre coração, o amor é um segredo e sempre chega em silêncio, como a luz no amanhecer. Por isso deixo em aberto meu saldo de sentimentos, sabendo que só o tempo ensina a gente a viver. Chega em silêncio, como a luz no amanhecer. Por isso deixo em aberto meu saldo de sentimentos, sabendo que só o tempo ensina a gente a viver. Sabendo que só o ensina a gente a viver.
Thank you so much. That arrangement was by a wonderful arranger that we had the opportunity to work with for 2 songs on this album that's going to come up. His name is Rafael Rocha. He's a brilliant arranger. So there was that tune, and the very last song that we're going to play today will be by the same arranger. I really love his style. I think it's just so beautiful, lush, evocative. So it's really nice to be able to work with him. This next tune was one that was kind of, I would say, a B-side of this composer. There's a lot of versions where you can hear a pianist playing it alone, and that's pretty much the only version I've ever heard, to be honest. And then, obviously, now we have an arrangement with the full orchestra, which really brings it to life. It has a wonderful, really cool groove to it, and it's by the composer Amélia, and arranged by Eduardo Neves. This is Bordões ao Luar. Thank you so much, thank you. I'm gonna go on my thank you tour right now. I'm gonna do as many thank yous as I can remember, and then I have the rest of the concert to make up for it if I forgot a couple thank yous. So the first thing I wanna say is, like, you're seeing that the movie, there's people recording, and all these people are here, we're doing all these tunes, and I keep saying album, whatever. So my big announcement for today was that originally this was supposed to be an album release concert, and in fact, the album is finished. But I do have some very good news, which is that I recently signed with a label, and they're going to release it in November. Thanks, yes, so I don't know what you like to do on the internet. Everyone's different, so you can try to look up Parma Records. They have a lot of wonderful artists, and in November, I'll be one of them. So I'm looking forward to being part of their team and having this music go out to the world. And then I want to thank all these wonderful people on stage. You can see in your program that we have the string quintet Toomai here. They're amazing. They've been so great to work with. They're new friends. They're my newest friends on stage, but I'm so glad that they're part of this project and that we've been able to work together. You should listen to their albums too, by the way. Actually, everyone I say you should just Google them because they're amazing and they all have their own projects, and it's been really inspiring to work with all of them. And then in the back row on the horns, we have mostly people from one of my lives working in the West Point band, 3 of us. So on trombone and trumpet and flute are West Point band members, Katrina, Bill, and Alaina. And from my Brazilian music life, saxophonist Lívio, and here on piano and accordion is Vitor, Eduardo, and Dennis, and my other new friend Tal, who is playing guitar today. And they're all amazing, and they all have their own projects, so you should totally check them out. All of their names are in your program, so you can Google them later. Thank you all. And then one really big thank you to Joan and Larry, who have been very patient, helpful, and I guess patient is the best word because I am asking for a lot. You know, I wanted to have as many people as we could to share this music, and not only are we sharing music in here, but afterwards you can see a gallery show that Larry helped me with. I have some friends in Minas Gerais, Brazil, who have contributed artwork to this event to give you a little bit of an idea of some maybe not your stereotypical Brazil imagery. So I hope that you will check that out afterwards when we have a reception with food from the Cafe Arara, so it's all Brazilian snacks. So I hope you will join us, and thank you to all of you too for making this possible. I have some more thank yous, but I'm saving for later so we can do some more music. So this piece, when I first learned it, I thought it had lyrics that were kind of reminiscent of the song Bésame Mucho. They're not the same type of lyrics, but it's kind of like somebody is kind of all alone and they're thinking about their love and where are they, what are they doing, and, you know, trying to, you know, early love when you're kind of missing somebody and wondering what they're up to. So this is Chove, Fora. Not that you can't worry and wonder what your longtime loves are doing either.
Está tão fria, chove lá fora, e essa saudade enjoada não vai embora. Quisera compreender por que partiste. Quisera que soubesses como estou triste. E a chuva continua mais forte ainda. Só Deus sabe como estás? Com quem estás agora? Continua mais forte ainda. Só Deus sabe dizer como enfim a dor de não saber lá fora onde estás, como estás. Com quem estás agora, agora?
Thank you very much. So, after listening to that song and thinking about the composer and some of the other composers that I chose for this album, I wanted to try to express another side of Brazil. Because I think a lot of people, I'm just gonna ask, what's the first thing you think about when you think about Brazil? Samba, what else? Bossa Nova, what else? Favelas, okay. Carnival, okay. I was thinking like soccer, bikinis, the beach. Like that's the stuff people usually say, right? But I mean, now that I've been traveling there so much, you're gonna get to my backstory. Oh my gosh, we've been waiting for so long. As you can see in the program, I'm not from Brazil, I'm not Brazilian. My family's not Brazilian. Well, now half of my family is Brazilian because I married a Brazilian, I guess, 14 years ago. And one of the things that really I have grown to love about Brazil is it's not so dissimilar from things here. It's a huge country. There's a ton of different cultures. There's every area you go, south, northeast, southeast, all the cultures are very different. There's a lot of different things to appreciate that we don't always necessarily see as Americans. You think of the Brazil stuff. So some of the artwork that I chose, the photography in particular, is from a colonial town in my husband's state where they've completely preserved it in its original style. It's a UNESCO site now. And I just thought it was something that a lot of people, unless you're traveling there, don't necessarily see or know about Brazil. And a lot of the composers these are old songs. In fact, my niece is here doing study abroad from Brazil, and yesterday she asked me, are you playing anything that I know? I was like, no, I'm definitely not. So sorry, but now you know. Now you know more songs. So I wanted just to convey more about the place, and for me, being interested in different styles and understanding more about the country and knowing more about his life, where he grew up and what things were like. So it's been really important for me to kind of expand my genres as well. But this next one is not Brazilian. It's gonna sound a little Brazilian because it's a Brazilian dance style, but it was in fact written by an army band conductor during World War I. I thought this would be a nice homage to half of my life where I play a lot of military music. This does not sound like military music before you start worrying that I'm gonna play Stars and Stripes, I promise, it's not that. So this piece is by the composer James Reese Europe. He is a bandmaster from World War I who was African American, and he was credited with taking jazz to Europe. When that whole jazz craze happened in France, it's because he and his band, the Harlem Hellfighters, were taking their syncopated marches and their syncopated dances to Europe, and that's how a lot of that music started to be introduced into, and specifically France was like where he was really catching on. So he had a dance troupe that he worked with. They were the castle dancers, so that's why this is called Castle Machixe. Machixe is a Brazilian dance. So it's kind of a fun combination of one of my lives, another one of my lives, and I think you'll really like it. It actually will probably sound a little bit like American Ragtime to you, a little bit. So this is Castle Machixe. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a really cool tune. It's a really fun beat to it. It's so much fun to play with all of them. This next one is completely different, but it's also very special because it was written by one of our neighbors. I'm assuming most of us live in Westchester, with some exceptions that I know who traveled here from Ohio to see me. So the composer is Daniel Freiberg, and he is an amazing composer. I first met him when I decided to perform his clarinet concerto with the West Point Band, and it was probably the most fun I ever had learning a piece. It was just beautifully written. It was exciting. It had melodies that you could remember. The whole band was like humming the melodies for weeks after. It was just an amazing piece. And after that, I'd asked him, would he want to contribute to this album that I was working on with something, and he did share this piece, Endless and Blind, with me. So there's something about this song, though, that I have to confess ahead of time. I don't usually sing in English because I get embarrassed. When you sing in Portuguese, there's only like probably maybe 15 people in this room that speak Portuguese, I'm guessing. So it's like only they know what I'm talking about. Well, these guys know too, but they're not listening to what I'm saying, honestly. So, I mean, I'm just being honest. So singing in English it was really difficult for me to record this song because the lyrics are very romantic. So if you have your love nearby, this is a great time to give them a little hug or hold their hand or something, because the song is too romantic and it's gonna embarrass me. The lyrics are written by the amazing Steve Sater. If you don't know his work, he's an amazing poet. I'm gonna mess up the things that he's won. He's like won a ton of awards, and I should have written them down, but I forgot. But you should just Google him too. I'm giving you so many things to Google. You're gonna have things to do for 2 weeks now. But this song is beautiful, and I think Daniel's here, but I can't quite see. Are you here? Ah, yeah, yay. So thank you, Daniel. I can't see you, but I'll give you a hug afterwards. So this is a beautiful tune, Endless and Blind.
There are whispers as cool as the night, silver wishes that chill and delight. There are moments in time with your lips close to mine, that the earth seems to drift into some other sky. There are kisses so smooth I can't find any picture of you in my mind. So I stay in the dark, where I lie with your heart, in this vision of bliss that is endless and blind. My love, how have you brought here the sun that feels so sublime? The more you pour the water, the more I drink the wine. There's a moment the soul takes a ride for a love that is man and is wife. Let me bathe in that fire with the man I desire. Let me love only you for the rest of my life. Let me stay in the dark, where I lie with your heart, in this vision of bliss that is endless and blind. My love, how have you brought here the sun that feels so sublime? The more you pour the water, the more I drink the wine. There's a moment the soul takes a ride a love that is man and is wife. Let me bathe in that fire with the man I desire. I will love only you for the rest of my life.
Daniel Freiberg, everyone. Oh my gosh, such an honor that he's here. I'm gonna keep it romantic, so don't worry. I only do 2 kinds of songs. Overly romantic and ones with a big groove. So if you're looking for anything in between, you're not gonna find it here. Okay, this next song is Chove Estrelas. It's actually not romantic. It's just very sad. Maybe I do sad songs too. Oh no. So it's kind of about my life used to be great. The path was lit. Everything was going great. But then, as you can guess, things are not going so great. So this is Chove Estrelas, and this piece was written by Silvio Caldas and arranged by another West Point band friend of mine, Scott Archangel, who's retired now, but he's a wonderful arranger and has worked with me on a lot of projects. I owe him a thanks because he's always up for whatever weird stuff I want to do. So many different tunes and many different styles. I think you will enjoy his music too. We should get him here. Okay, Chove Estrelas.
Minha vida era pouco iluminado e eu vivia vestido de dourado, palhaço das perdidas ilusões, cheio dos guizos falsos da alegria. Andei cantando a minha fantasia entre as palmas febris dos corações. Meu barraco no morro do Salgueiro tinha cantar alegre de viveiro, voz de solenidade que acabou. Cobre meu barracão, sinto saudade da mulher como rola que voa. Nossas roupas comuns dependuradas na corda qual bandeiras agitadas, parecia estranho festival. Festa dos nossos trapos coloridos, a mostrar que nos morros mal vestidos é sempre feriado nacional. A porta do barraco era sem trinco, mas a lua forando nossos cinco só ficava de estrelas no chão. E tu pisavas nos astros distraída, sem saber que a aventura desta vida é que a brocha, luar e o violão. Sem saber que a aventura desta vida é que a brocha, o luar e o violão.
Now, literally for something very different. This next tune is something that I got obsessed for a while with frevo dancing, which is this dance from the northeast of Brazil, where they dance in ways that will make your knees hurt just by watching. And they have a really colorful umbrella that they use as part of the dance. It's really cool, very beautiful, and the music is very exciting. So, we have a frevo for you, and it's by a composer that I've started to grow to love. The first album that I recorded, which Vitor and Eduardo were a part of, I learned a lot about this composer because Vitor knew a lot about him, had spent time playing with him, and so now I love him too. So the composer is Hermeto Pascoal. For any music nerds that might be out there, which I think there are a few, there's a great video of him in a lake playing a flute and like bobbing up and down with the flute to change the pitch of the flute. It's amazing. Listen, here's what will happen. There's a QR code on there. You'll be able to find me through my website, and so I can give you a list of all the things I'm telling you to Google. You don't have to write it down now, so then you won't have to worry about forgetting all the stuff. But that one's worth it. The flute in the lake, you're gonna love it. Okay. I'm not even going to say any more about it. We'll just surprise you. Thank you so much. So welcome back. It's fun to be able to work with the horn players on something like that. It's a very, it's kind of like a bandish kind of sound anyway. And Fred was kind of like that, which is maybe why I liked it, because it's like, it's like a marching band. I'm so used to this. So we're going to have a couple more tunes. And before we do that, I would like to make a couple other announcements about what you're going to see in the lobby, what's on your program, how you can be friends with me forever. There are a bunch of prints in the lobby, and they're from two friends of me and my husband. They are a photographer, former software engineer photographer. There's another former software engineer photographer in here too. Must be something that they like to do. And then another artist who has done a bunch of sketches of things that are very typical Brazilian things, so very common items, but they're highly detailed sketches. And they have generously donated their work to the show so we can have a little bit more of an immersive experience when we're talking about Brazil and its music and culture. So if you are interested in purchasing any of the prints, please let me know afterwards. Any of the proceeds from that will go to the musicians. So Larry had mentioned that the grant that we have from Arts Westchester, and then the generous gift from Chappaqua Library as well, are covering part of this concert. So if you're feeling generous, you can buy a print, you can make a donation in the donation boxes, which are on either doorway out, and there's also QR codes next to those if you don't have cash to send a virtual donation. You can also you can look up my website. There's a place to donate there if you don't feel like doing so right now. And we would be very grateful for anything that you would like to contribute, but you don't have to contribute at all if you don't want to. I'm just happy to see so many smiling faces enjoying Brazilian music here. So our last two tunes are both very exciting. I love both of them very much. And one of them is composed by Lívio, our saxophonist. Hey, Lívio. The first album I did had a song that had the word clarinet in it. And then I started getting on this pattern of playing gigs and adding songs that had clarinet in it. Like some people might know Clarinet Candy, Clarinet Polka. If you're like an old Lawrence Welk fan, you might know those too. And so, yeah, it sounds like there might be a few Lawrence Welk fans here. I said Lawrence Welk in the last place I played, and everyone was completely silent. I was like, oh my God. Guess I'm a lot older than I thought I was. But this one is clarinete dengoso, so we've had an argument about what this word means, but I think some people think it's clingy clarinet, and some people think it's bashful clarinet, so you can decide on your own. And then on my first album, I had clarinete gostoso, which is like tasty clarinet. So I'm just, every project has got to have something with clarinet in the title from now on. So I'm very excited to share this very groovy and dramatic somehow arrangement of Clarinete dengoso by Lívio Almeida. Thank you very much. Okay, for our last piece, something, maybe I chose it because in a couple years I can retire from the Army, and I'm thinking about taking my clarinet and playing it in a forest or something. This song, it's two songs combined in a medley. The first one is about living on the countryside and kind of appreciating the simple life, which is really a fun message, especially in stressful times. And the second one is about a similar space where you're living a simple life, grabbing your guitar, and you're hitting the road, just playing one place and another, meeting new people here and there, and kind of just appreciating the simple things in life. So I think maybe that's why these songs are appealing to me right now. Plus they're beautiful and they're really fun, so that's hard to beat. I want to thank you again so much. This is such a true treat and a surprise to see so many smiling faces here, enjoying the very weird music that I love. So I really can't tell you how much I appreciate seeing you and sharing this with you. So I hope you will come say hi afterwards, have a couple snacks, and let me know a little bit about you. I want to again thank this amazing orchestra, all of these musicians. They're incredible. And a very special thank you to two of these gentlemen who have been helping me work on this album for literally over 2 years. I made a joke, but it's true. It's like I asked them if they would co-produce this album with me, and they're like, yeah, sure, sounds great. And then it took like 2.5 years. So they're like, probably a little bit of buyer's remorse on that agreement. But to Vitor Gonçalves on accordion and piano. And Eduardo Belo on the bass. Amazing people, amazing musicians. Thank you, guys. So here we are. Let's go to the countryside. Let's relax. Let's enjoy the simple things in life. 1, 2, 3. Onde eu moro, que as mágoas que eu choro são mágoas ponteadas, que no capim mascado do meu boi a baba sempre foi santa purificada. Diz que rumino desde menininho, fraco mirradinho, a ração da estrada. Vou mastigando o mundo e ruminando, vou tocando essa vida malvada. E a que viola fala alto no meu peito, e toda moda é remédio pros meus desenganos. E a que viola fala alto no meu peito, e toda mágoa é mistério fora desse plano.
aquele que só fala que eu não sei viver. Chega lá em casa pra uma visitinha, que no verso e no reverso da ver inteirinha. É de contar-me na caterete, é de contar. É que viola fala alto no meu peito. Cada morning ready for the discipline. É que viola fala alto no meu peito. E toda moda é mistério for the discipline. Doutor é aquele que só fala que eu não sei viver. Chega lá em casa pra uma visitinha, que no verso e no reverso da ver inteirinha. Há de encontrar-me no caterete, há de encontrar-me no caterete, há de encontrar-me no caterete. Sacola e fui viajar. Amanheceu, eu peguei a viola, botei na sacola e fui viajar. Sou cantor e touro neste mundo, vai lembrar que eu cante e posso viajar. A minha arte sapateia as cordas e esse povo gosta de me ouvir cantar. Amanheceu, eu peguei a viola, botei na sacola e fui viajar. Amanheceu, eu peguei a viola, botei na sacola e fui viajar. Ao meu dia eu tava em Mato Grosso, ou do som do norte, não sei explicar. Só sei dizer que foi de tardezinha, já tava cantando em Belém do Pará. Amanheceu, eu peguei a viola, botei na sacola e fui viajar. Amanheceu, eu peguei a viola, botei na sacola e fui viajar. Em Porto Alegre, em tal de Coronel, pediu que musicasse versos que ele fez para uma China que pela poesia nem lá em Pequim tem tal de vez. Amanheceu, eu peguei a viola, botei na sacola e fui viajar. Amanheceu, eu peguei a viola, botei na sacola e fui viajar. Para em Minas, pra trocar as cores e seguir direto para o céu. No caminho foi pensando em linhos e grande aventura de poder cantar. Amanheceu, eu peguei a viola, botei na sacola e fui viajar. Amanheceu, eu peguei a viola, botei na sacola e fui viajar. Amanheceu, eu peguei a viola, botei na sacola e fui viajar. Amanheceu, eu peguei a viola, botei na sacola e fui viajar. Chegou a noite, me peguei cantando num bailão no norte lá do Paraná. Daí pra frente ninguém mais se espanta, e resto da noitada não posso cantar. Anoiteceu e eu voltei pra casa, o dia foi longo, eu só quero descansar. Amanheceu, eu peguei a viola, botei na sacola e fui viajar. Amanheceu, eu peguei a viola, botei na sacola e fui viajar. Amanheceu.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.